Good morning everybody, I hope you're all well. Welcome to the next generation of technology champions. Before we do begin, can you please comment for us in the chat box with the name of your school to let us know you've joined us today and to let us know that you can hear us, please. We will be beginning at 9 AM. Some of the VTs contain flashing images, so please take note of that. If there are any technical issues during the webinar, please stay tuned and we'll try and sort those out. We will try and address them as swiftly as possible. Please sit back, relax, and we'll be with you as soon as we can. Good morning everybody, and welcome once again to the next generation of technology champions. Just to say, we will be starting in 1 minute. Sorry for the slight delay, but we will be with you as soon as we can. Thank you.
Hello and good morning and welcome to Next Generation of Technology Champions. My name is Shantia and I work for the ESTnet, which is the electronic and software network for Wales. Essentially what that means is we represent the tech sector here in Wales. As you know, technology is part of our everyday lives, from gaming to social media. It enables all sorts of industry, from healthcare to finance. And as you saw in the VT, there are over 3,000 companies here that deal with technology, employing over 39,000 people, which is great because that means this industry is growing, and there's a chance, if you want a career in technology, that it is there waiting for you, whatever your interests are. This is the second webinar in a series of 6, and if you missed the first one, you can catch it on YouTube on either the ESTnet or the Careers Wales website. If you have any questions for our guests, please send them through in the comments section and we'll pass them on to him later on in the webinar. And also, we sent you a link that is www.do, that's .vote/NGTC2. Now this is because we want to hear from you guys as well. So if you want to tell us about your interests, want to tell us anything really, and we want to hear from you. And this comes from a polling company from DuPol. So I'm joined here today by Emma. How are you? Introduce
Good,
yourself.
thanks. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Would you like to introduce yourself for us?
Okay. Yes, I'm Emma and I work for Careers Wales, a company, an organisation I'm sure you're all familiar with. I'm sure you've had activities in schools from employers, or maybe already participated in group works or had an interview with your careers advisor. So any aspect of your career that you would like to pursue in the future, then we are here to support you. But today, as Shanti has already mentioned, we are focusing on an exciting and growing sector here in Wales. And it's with great pleasure that I introduce you to our guest, Tom. Hi Tom, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Just before we have a look at a day in your life, Tom, can you just tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Yep. So I'm one of the developers at Yard, so one of the companies part of ESTnet. We're a digital marketing agency, so yeah, we do a lot of things where all the data from your websites, all that kind of stuff, advise companies what to do and help their business grow.
Great, sounds interesting. I can't wait to find out a bit more about that. So let's take a short look at a clip, A Day in the Life of Tom.
I'm Tom. I was a recent graduate at Cardiff University and I'm one of the software developers at Yard Digital. I've always been interested in computers. Just playing games when I was younger was sort of the big clincher for me. But it wasn't until about 14, 15 that I built my own PC. And that for me was, I built this thing. Sort of the sense of joy you get from building something, but that's what I got from building it. Every day is a bit different for us. A lot of the time, we take it as it comes. Sometimes we've got a lot of project work, so we're working together trying to get the projects going. Other times it's just sort of like, waiting for tasks from clients that have BAU, which is sort of, oh, can you fix this quickly, or can you implement this, which takes about a day, a couple of hours. So it's sort of a smaller task. So it really depends on what kind of week we've got. At the moment, we've been making websites for the company itself, so we can use for training, and the actual company website as well, which we're trying to redevelop. You can honestly do anything in this industry, and what's quite nice about IT, or computer science in general, is it links with so many other industries in itself. You've got something like HCI, which is sort of a mixture of psychology and computer science. You've got UI, UX, which is sort of developing what they see on the website, which is a mixture of sort of design, yet again computer science. It's quite nice that no matter where you started off from, so personally I'm a developer now, I wouldn't mind being a UX developer, someone who sort of designs and also builds the front end of a website and shows what the user can see. And I can go as high as I want. I can even go to a sort of CTO level, where they're the people that make sort of the big decisions about what technology gets used, how the security gets implemented, and manages the overall infrastructure of a company. So it depends on what you actually really want to be.
Wow, that really does look like an exciting place to work, Tom. Okay, so let's just find out a little bit more then about your organisation and then about you and how you got into that profession. So the company you work for is Yard Digital.
Yep.
Can you please explain a little bit more to the audience about what it is you do there and what they do as an organisation?
So as an organisation, as I said, we do digital marketing. Okay. So that ranges from making sure that your website is visible on Google, for instance. So make sure you're at the top of the list so that other companies don't beat you. We also look at the data of when users come onto the website. So, where you're clicking, what you're sort of interacting with, so then the companies can have a look at, what's being successful on their website and what needs a bit of work, really.
Okay. So do you enjoy your job?
Oh yeah, every day has been different. Yeah, it's one of those things where a lot of companies, a lot of jobs, you sit and do the same sort of thing every day, but I just want something where, yeah, every day I don't know what to expect. I'm doing something completely different.
Great. So out of all the different things that you do, what would you say is the best part?
I think for me, a lot of the designing and web development part of things. We've been quite lucky to work with certain clients that need websites to be rebuilt or redesigned, so I've been doing a lot of that kind of work at the moment.
Okay. And do you get an opportunity to directly deal with the clients, or is that done by someone else?
Normally, yes. So I've only been in the company for 6 months.
Okay.
But I've been given the chance to talk with the majority of our clients that I work with, which is quite nice. One of the clients I'm working with directly at the moment is Folly Farm.
All right.
So we have weekly meetings with them,
Okay.
and it's just me with a project manager, and yeah, we discuss what needs to be done during the week, what we've done, just to give them sort of an insight to how the project's going.
Okay. And with the clients with Yard Digital, are they global clients or do they tend to be more local? Or
We've got a bit of a range at the moment. To be fair, the majority of our clients are sort of European based, but we do have clients now in Israel, which is quite nice. So some of the guys have gone over there this week to meet up with our clients there.
Okay. So how about, you know, the languages then, and language barriers? Obviously there's several languages in Europe. Is it an advantage to be able to speak another language? Or?
Yes, so one of our potential clients as well is based in Spain. So we do have some Spanish speakers in the company, so that does help us communicate our points across. But we're quite lucky that we've got quite a good mix of people in our company who speak different languages.
That's
so,
great.
Yeah.
So, well, you can learn a new language as part of your daily job as well. That's brilliant. So how many people work for Yard Digital? Is it a big team?
We're sort of about 50 at the moment. So it's sort of a medium-ish sized company, but we're spread over 2 offices. So we've got the Cardiff branch, which is where I work, and we've also got the Edinburgh branch as well.
All right. Okay, do you get an opportunity to go to Edinburgh to do some work?
I have actually, which is quite nice. Yeah, so I'm redeveloping the company website at the moment, and part of my job is to liaise with the Edinburgh side and make sure what they're doing for the company as well gets showcased on the website. So
it's quite a responsibility to do your own organisation's website.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So you've said you've been in the company now for 6 months, so quite new to the organisation. What progression opportunities would there be for you? I mean, where would you like to see yourself in the future?
Well, one of the things I've always wanted to be is sort of the manager role. I love development. I want to try and stick with that. And what's quite good in the sort of the tech industry field is you can become sort of a scrum master is what we call it. So they still do the development work, but they also manage the team. So I get to enjoy my work and still manage people, which is quite nice.
How long do you think it would take you sort of to progress to that level?
I think at the rate that Yard is growing, I don't think it will take that long, because we're looking to grow quite quickly, which means we'll need more project managers in the future.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's great news. Brilliant. Just tell me a little bit more about your day. So what kind of hours do you work? I mean, is it a 9 to 5 situation or? Yeah,
so we've just introduced sort of a more flexible time period. So it's you've got to do your 7 hours, but as long as you can start from 8:30 and finish at 5:30, or if you come in early, you finish early, or So it's quite nice that we get that sort of flexibility, and we do also have opportunities to work from home.
All right.
So there are things that happen in life. You need to work from home. They're quite a relaxed company with that. So
that's good, as long as you do your hours.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's great. So tell the audience a little bit more then about the types of skills and qualities that are needed for your sort of line of work.
I think one of the bigger things is problem solving.
Okay.
So it's one of those sort of skills that anybody can have. You've got to be able to look at a problem and not be scared by it, and just sort of try to break it down into different parts and then start from there, because a lot of the problems we face can be quite large, especially if you're facing it, as a team or a couple of people. It does help sort of breaking it down and communicating between team members. Okay,
so problem solving and communication, you would say, are the key things.
Yeah. Apart from sort of your basic programming skills and that kind of stuff. But,
okay. Great. So what is the company culture like? Do you get together as a team? Is there any sort of team building exercises so you get to know everybody in the organisation?
So I mean, it's quite a relaxed culture. A lot of tech companies you'll find we're quite chill. We don't want to be like sitting at our desk all day. Yeah. So we try to shake things up a little bit.
Okay.
So for Christmas this year we had quite a few activities going on. So we had like the Christmas Bake Off. So everyone made cakes at home, brought them in.
That's great.
And then we spent about an hour or so just sort of tasting everyone's cake, and then you had to vote for what you thought was the best. The loser got a wooden spoon. So
that's great.
Yeah. Then we also did sort of like Christmas quizzes and a few other things as well, which is quite nice.
Just to have a break from the computers.
Exactly.
And, get you all together.
And then sort of at lunchtime we all sort of, we sort of chill around the table, talk. Some of us do crossword puzzles together.
Yeah.
So again, keeping that problem-solving skills up. So yeah, no.
And is that encouraged then, that you're off your desk for lunch and that you mix as a team?
Yeah. again, our job, we might not be working with everyone at every moment, but we need to be able to, work with each person in the company, no matter what the project is.
Okay, so it's really useful to get to know everybody as much as you can.
Yeah.
That's great. So, getting into this sort of sector, what do you think you did differently to sort of stand out?
So a lot of the things I did was I started up my own companies when I was in college. So what we noticed was...
Companies?
Yes. So at college, we noticed that they were giving up these big prospectuses.
Okay.
With, all the courses that the college had, and it's a waste of money. Because you get them and you throw them in the bin.
Okay.
Especially when you go to these massive events, you play how many prospectuses can I get game? And you just throw the most of them in the bin. So what we thought was, could we digitize these?
Right.
So we ended up making an app for iPads, Android and iOS, that had all of the information that the user would need, and they could apply for the courses directly through the app. The other thing we did was, when you start college, you get given sort of a pamphlet, what to do in emergencies, who you should contact at different moments. And again, it's one of those things where you just throw in the bin or you lose after about a week. So we digitized that as well.
Okay.
What was quite nice was our college had a system where if you're ill or going to be late, you should text or call the reception and go, okay, I'm going to be a bit late, can you please? So what we did was we made an automated text system. So if you're going to be late, you press I'm going to be late. It sends all your information that the college needs to know, and then you just click confirm.
Okay.
So again, making it a bit easier for people to
Great.
submit things like that.
So did you see that gap then in the college, or was it something that you sort of came up with as a team?
So it was actually our lecturer that came up to
Okay.
us and went, it wouldn't be a bad idea if you guys did this for your college project. So that's what we started doing, and then we sold it to the college at the end. So quite
That's
nice.
great.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well done. So you were how old? 16, 17?
Yeah, about 15, 16 at the time.
There we are. It's never too early to start then.
Oh no.
So. That's great. What would you say has been your proudest career achievement so far?
I think it was trying to sell my app to different colleges.
Okay.
So it was quite nice as our college was next to another college. So we just walked in and went, we've just did this for our college. You need this.
Okay.
It didn't go well, but we learned a lot from that, and then we approached other schools and colleges, and that's where it started picking up a little bit for us.
Okay, great. So moving on from college, I can see you went to university.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about what course you took and why you decided to go to university? Or?
So I think one of the things that you don't necessarily need a degree in this industry,
Okay.
but it does help to, when you go to an employer, you've got that proof that you do know, the skills you need. So I ended up doing software engineering,
Right.
which is a mixture of computer science, which is lots of more technical, scientific side of things, but also the sort of management side. So how you work as a team, what tools you can use, and that kind of side of things as well. So it's quite a good balance between the two.
Okay. And was that a 3-year course or was it a 4-year course?
Yeah, so it's a 3-year course. I decided not to do a placement year.
Right.
Instead, I did summer placements instead, because I felt that when you've got a 4 or 5 month holiday, it's nice having a bit of time off,
Yeah.
but you get bored after a while.
Okay. So where did you have your summer placements? What kind of organisations
So
did you work with?
I worked with Untitled.
Right.
So they are a company that do applications for people with disabilities.
Okay.
So being able to record your lectures and break them down and categorise each segment of the lecture is quite nice. And that's what they do. So I worked there for 3 months.
Great. Good, well done. What first inspired you then to pursue a career within this industry?
I think I've always been fascinated by computers.
Okay.
As a young boy, my dad had his Mac. He had the Adobe Suite, which let you make sort of games and Photoshop type of things. And so I started making games with my friends at sort of like 10, 11. These
Right.
terrible Flash games, but it was enough to get me interested.
Okay.
And at sort of like 15, I started liking taking things apart.
Right.
So my parents saw this and they asked me, did you want to do something with this? So I ended up building my own computer and just sort of being able to make mistakes. Because my parents had never built anything like that before,
Right.
so I had no one to help me or guide me. So I ended up, the first computer I built didn't even turn on because I mixed parts that shouldn't be mixed. But again, it's just things like that. I was quite lucky my parents let me learn and make mistakes like that. So.
Okay, so it's obviously stemming from a really early age for
Yeah.
you, which I'm sure for a lot of people in the audience, they may be in similar situations where it's quite a gaming era now, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And digital and computers. So that's great to hear your story and your journey. So we're at the point now where we would like to take some questions from the audience, and I know that some of you have already chatted in some questions for us. So I will hand you back over to Shantia, who will take over this section.
Sure. Okay. So it was great to get some questions from you guys. As I'm asking Tom, by all means send them through and we'll keep asking him. So one of the questions is, do you feel that university prepared you for the job that you currently have?
University gives you a lot of skills that I didn't think I needed. You know, being able to work as a team is one of the things where you think, oh, you know, it's easy. But no, there's a lot of things that, you know, you need to know. So in that sense, yes. But a lot of things I learned at college was enough to get me into this industry, which was quite good. It's just sort of reiterating on that and learning things in a different way as well. So having a different teacher tends to help you with that.
So you don't have to if you want to get into the industry. Okay, great. So you said you went to college. What did you study, and should the audience study the same thing to get into what you did?
So I studied a BTEC in computer science. It's not the most stereotypical route. A lot of people do A-levels. Unfortunately, I'm not a very academic person. I'm more vocational based. So I like building things and learning on the go. So the BTEC actually helped me do that. It meant I didn't have to sit exams. I just have to do write-ups of my projects. And that's how I learnt, which was quite beneficial for me.
Oh, that was my next question that we had here. Was it beneficial to your work now?
Yes, I think I learnt the majority of what I know now in that BTEC. My lecturer was very supportive. He just kept on giving me projects and pushing me. And if I didn't have that, you know, that person pushing me, I don't think I'd be where I am now.
Awesome. So, if you were a young student again now, would you do the same thing all over again?
I'd love to say yes. I'd try to avoid some of the mistakes I made. I know that now BTECs are a bit harder to get into, especially if you want to go to uni. So if I was to do it now, I'd probably have to go down the A-level route, which is a shame for me, but yeah.
So, how soon since finishing university did you then start at your current role?
1 week.
Oh wow, that was quick.
That is quick, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't want to waste time. I gave myself 1 week holiday and then I started.
Wow.
I hadn't even graduated at that point.
Wow. So you already had the role ready to go into once you finished?
Yeah, so I wasn't actually, I wanted to concentrate more on my degree and I wasn't really looking for a job as such, but I helped out the university events, so a lot of, you know, the ESTnet events, where they bring sort of students and companies together, and I help organise those events from the university standpoint. And yeah, it was just, I happened to meet my line manager from Yard there, and
gosh, that's good.
yeah, we hit it off.
And then 1 week later, there you are.
Yeah.
That's great.
Right, so we've also got another one here that said, what did your degree involve doing?
There's many parts to the degree itself. You spend a lot of your time in the first couple of years just sitting in a lecture theatre, listening to your professor, which again, it sounds roughly what you do now in school, but you get a lot more sort of opportunity to work as a team. So you're at Cardiff Uni, what they like to do is in your first sort of month or so, they'll just give you a group project so you can meet people, because you go from, you know, being the top of college, having loads of friends, to probably going to a new city and being, you know, by yourself. So it was quite good that, you know, you got into those sort of group projects throughout the years.
Yeah, so you said you started off by building a computer. Do
Yeah.
you have any hobbies now that you actually work as your hobby?
So I still love building computers. I've got a lot of friends that sort of come around and go, oh Tom, you know, I need a new computer. What should I buy? Can you put it together for me? I'm like, yeah, no problem. You know, but I do a lot of sort of kayaking, sailing, swimming, because I want to make sure that, you know, yes, I spend all my time in front of a computer, but but it's also important not to spend all your time in front of a computer.
Yeah.
You know, having that sort of clear barrier. Even though I work all day, you get back home and you sort of like, yes, I'll play games for about an hour or so, and then I'll get on my life.
Yeah, so you still need to stretch your legs, not just be in front of the computer. Yeah. Oh, we got a bit of a tricky one here.
Okay.
How much do you earn?
So, a graduate is sort of expected to earn between sort of 20 and 25,000. I have seen some of my friends sort of work in the south of England, towards London, earning sort of more towards the 30, 35 area. But yeah, around sort of Cardiff area, sort of 20, 25.
So for anyone watching, that's a great starting salary.
Oh yeah.
If you want to go into tech. Plus you have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Do you ever get bored?
There have been times when, you know, if you don't get challenged, if you're doing the sort of same thing, you know, day in, day out. But what's quite good is the fact that I'm not doing the same thing every day. You know, I might be stuck for a week where I'm, you know, where it's a bit slow, but then, you know, the week after, things will pick up again and you're doing a lot of different work, which is, yeah. Okay.
So a lot of people think to program or to do any kind of developer work, you need hard subjects like maths or problem solving skills like yourself. Would you agree with that?
Maths does help. I'm not very good at maths and I'm still in this industry. Yeah, it's one of the things where it's nice to have, it does help, but it's not the be all or end all.
Okay, great. So you believe STEM is important?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
I wouldn't be in this industry if it wasn't. Nowadays, you know, computers and technology is everywhere. And in order to, you know, progress this forwards, we need more people coming into this industry. And what's quite nice is a lot of the companies that I've seen in STEM are quite fun. Like, you know, they're not sort of your stereotypical, I'm going to sit in a cubicle all day, type away at my computer. Even though I sit all day typing in front of a computer, our environment's a lot more relaxed. I don't get told off for talking to the person next to me. You know, we work together, so we don't always have to be in front of a computer. It's quite nice that, you know, you get sort of flexibility.
Yeah, I was about to say, in your VT, you were opening presents. What was that all about?
So we have something called Birthday Club.
Right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
So basically, everyone sort of, you know, every month we put in money for people's birthdays. And people in the company will go out and try to find presents that suit you for your birthday. So yeah, they managed to get me a Japanese cookbook because I love cooking, and especially sort of Asian cuisines. And they also got me some Warhammer gift vouchers as well.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Once you're a nerd, unfortunately, you don't go back.
Yeah, but you must, like you said, you do baking, so it's not sort of very much tech focused or Warhammer and whatnot. Oh, we've just had another one come on through. What was the main benefit of uni for you?
I think, so studying at uni wasn't my big concentration. The extracurricular stuff you can do at uni was actually where I focused the most.
Right.
So as I mentioned, I helped organise sort of the ESTnet events, but from the Cardiff University point of view. And we were part of an organisation called Techno Camps. So we'd go into schools and help teach, you know, you guys how to program. And that's where I concentrated the most, because I felt, you know, yes, I'll have a degree at the end of it, but it's what makes you stand out that's more important than having a degree.
Did you do that to stand out, or is it because you actually enjoyed doing those activities?
That as well. So I was a scout leader for quite a few years before that, and so I've always wanted to, you know, help kids out, give back what, you know, was given to me when I was younger. So that's one of the reasons.
No, that's great. We have another one. Do you ever consider going into a different field of work?
I don't think I would.
Any reason for that?
I think because this field is so vast that, you know, I can stay in the tech field, but I can sort of go towards more the sort of, if I wanted to do a bit more sort of psychology and sort of design, you know, it's so big that no matter what your background is, you can go in and adapt, or, you know.
Do you have any of those plans yet, or are you happy where you are right now?
I'm happy where I am right now. One of the things I wasn't too sure if I wanted to do was sort of that more sort of, you know, design side of things, how we use computers, you know, how to make it easier for you to interact with your devices. That was one thing I was always quite interested in. But again, I'm at the stage in my life at the moment where I can just sort of try different things out and see what works for me.
And is that what appeals to you about this industry?
Yeah. being able to sort of, because what I heard a lot when I was younger was my teachers, you know, would have been working a different job and then they completely changed careers. Whereas that sounds quite daunting to me personally. So I thought, you know, maybe being in an industry where you can change what you want to do, but it's not such a big change that, you know, whatever you've learned in your life can't be moved on to that area.
Well, thank you everyone for all your questions. We got a few more from us to yourself.
Oh, okay.
My final question would be, for anyone who's watching, what advice would you give them now as they're about to take their GCSEs or their A-levels or they're going into college?
So I think one of the big things for your GCSEs is just take the subjects that you enjoy. Get the best grades you possibly can. At that sort of age, it's more about getting into college where you need the grades. But when it comes to sort of A-levels, it's worth, if you're not 100% sure what you want to do, it might be worth sort of taking a math or a science and then sort of filling it out with, you know, other subjects that you enjoy. Because having a maths or a science does open up a lot of opportunities for you. So you've always got that to fall back on. You know, if you're not too good at the maths, maybe try science or vice versa.
Okay, so try out quite a few things. Keep your options open. That's great. So, you said you built a computer, like you said, but did you ever go on any websites or tools or use any kind of facilities or information to learn about programming or coding in any kind of sense?
So, yeah, when it came to sort of the more coding side, there was a lot of sites called like Udemy, where you can buy courses, about £10 each, and they sort of walk you through from either a beginner stage or, depending on the course, like a more advanced stage. I actually learned a lot like that. There's other sort of sites like Code Academy, which is free, and you just YouTube.
Oh, that's great. So that's from your perspective. From a Careers Wales perspective, what can a student do now if they're interested?
I think it's really important, if you are interested in this sector, is for you to do your research, find out the websites, some of them which Tom has mentioned. There's lots of information on our website, careerswales.com, with further links to other organisations within the sector. And also maybe find out about, you know, is there something already existing in your schools, the coding clubs, the STEM club activities. I'm sure there's activities going on at lunchtime or after school clubs. And I know some schools or colleges, they also run Saturday clubs now related to STEM. So if you are interested, now is the time to, I think, to find out. Would you agree with that, Tom?
No, yeah, I do. It's one of the things we've noticed, so being part of Techno Camps, is we went into a lot of schools, lunch times, after school. So I know there are schools out there, especially in sort of the Cardiff and Greater Cardiff area, that do these sort of clubs quite regularly.
So just make sure you do your research really and find out what's there for you to support your career and help you to make the correct decisions, isn't it? Brilliant.
So I hope this has interested you. However, if you are already interested and you want to pursue it further in your studies, or there's some kind of activity that you're doing, I just want to let you know that the ESTnet NG does a £2,000 prize for anyone in a clear interest for it. Just for example, last year we gave it to a young girl who was chosen out of 50 around the world to go to NASA summer school. So if you're doing anything, it doesn't necessarily have to be that, but anything along those lines, get in touch with us. We'll have it on the ESTnet NG website very soon. And yeah, thank you very much, Tom. Thank you, Emma.
Thank you, Shantia.
Yeah, so look at those websites, check out any coding clubs, the Careers Wales website, but also we will be here in 2 weeks' time, February 7th, with another guest, and we hope that you join us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
study STEM is to look to the future, because that is where our world is going. It will open so many more doors to you.